you all. All right, we'll get everyone in here. Some of you can come on this side, Gail, if you'd like. Okay, well, we have a full house. It's so great to see all of you here today as we meet together to make a very important announcement. As you all know, a tragic event is unfolding right before our eyes with violence erupting in cities and towns throughout Ukraine. The Russian army is launching bombs and artillery indiscriminately in Ukraine, killing soldiers and civilians, men, women, and children. It's horrific, and more than 1 million Ukrainians have fled their homeland in the face of the brutal attack by Putin and his army. We pray for the innocent, and we fervently hope for a peaceful resolution soon. Until that happens, we will do what we can to support those in need. That's why I am thrilled to announce today an effort to raise cash and goods to support Ukrainian refugees in Europe. My sincerest thanks goes to Gail Miller and the Larry H. Miller Group for organizing this Driven to Assist community donation drive, for rallying Utah's philanthropic community, and for generously donating to the cause. Starting tomorrow, March 4th, and running from March 4th to March 14th, cash and supplies will be gathered and delivered to the front lines of this refugee crisis. Here's how it's going to work. The Community Foundation of Utah will collect funds and distribute to international aid agencies. We'll have several locations where to drop off diapers, warm clothing, and other supplies. Sister Goods is providing feminine hygiene products. Intermountain Healthcare will coordinate delivery, and the First Lady, Abby Cox's Show Up initiative will coordinate a volunteer effort to help sort and pack goods. Each dollar donated will be matched up to $2 million. That's an incredible demonstration of solidarity with the people of Ukraine in their time of need. I'm so proud of these people standing behind me and their generosity, and more proud of the people of Utah who are going to step forward as we always do in moments of crisis. We'll now hear more details about each of these from our speakers today. I'm so grateful to Gail Miller and Utah's philanthropists for stepping forward and supporting this effort. Your cash and product donations will make a difference for the Ukrainian people. We'll first hear brief remarks from our speakers. First Lady Abby Cox, followed by Gail Miller, the Larry H. and Gail Miller Family Foundation. Then Chris Connard from the Community Foundation of Utah, followed by Steve Starks, the CEO of the Larry H. Miller Company. Mikhail Moore, Senior Vice President and Chief Community Health Officer from Intermountain Healthcare. And then we will hear from Maxim Morozov, owner of Bon Bon Ice Cream and Gelato Company, born in Ukraine and a U.S. citizen. And then we'll have time for a few questions. Abby.
As many of you know, my Show Up initiative is focused on service, and this is our time to show up for our friends in Ukraine. We do need volunteers, and we need to help to organize all these donations. So what we would like you to do is go to showuputah.org/Ukraine if you're able to help and assist in these efforts. Thank you.
Governor and First Lady Cox, thank you for your incredible leadership and your wonderful serving hearts. Utah is lucky to have you at the helm. We do appreciate you bringing Utah together to assist in a most critical international need. My friend Max, who you'll hear from today, reached out to me 2 days ago about the immense needs for his fellow Ukrainians and explained that he would like to mobilize efforts to raise support and collect supplies for his people. My first reaction was, yes, we can help. I shared this plea with Amanda Covington and Don Sterling, and they immediately sprang into action. Our mission at the Larry H. Miller Group of Companies is to enrich lives and to live our value of service, which is one of our 4 pillars. I believe that when we serve others, our love for them increases. A sense of connection and appreciation for them envelops us in a way that completes us. We have all seen the detailed reports and read news stories about the suffering taking place in Ukraine, and we've watched the news reports about many of the citizens who have to evacuate to safer places, which is only the women and children that are allowed to. I'd like to share with you how we can come together to make a difference and let you know there is a role that you can each play. We're pleased to use our Driven to Assist platform to organize and coordinate community support for our friends in Ukraine. This platform has two key components. Number one, monetary donations to aid the humanitarian effort on the ground. Two, a drive for much needed supplies, as you can see here. I want to focus today on the monetary donations. As of this press conference, the Utah community partners and philanthropists have already donated more than $2 million to the Community Foundation of Utah. This will be overseen, Utah Community Foundation will oversee the distribution of these funds to accredited and approved organizations on the ground in Ukraine and the border countries. These donors I want to name because they stepped up first time they were asked. Todd and Andy Peterson family, Ryan and Ashley Smith, Clark and Christine Ivory Foundation, George S. and Dolores Story Eccles Foundation, Kim and Carolyn Gardner family, the Huntsman Family Foundation, Jeremy and Kristen Andrus Family Foundation, Ron and Janet Gibson Family Foundation, Zion's Bank, the amazing employees of the Larry H. Miller Company, several anonymous donors, and of course the Larry H. and Gail Miller Family Foundation, with family members giving personally that include Greg and Heidi Miller, Steve and Jenny Miller, Brilliant and Heather Dawn Miller, Karen Williams, and Zane Miller. We would like to encourage our fellow Utahns to help match this $2 million that's already been raised. You can go to lhm.com for more information, and any donation would be appreciated from $1 on up. Every dollar will help. We've learned that one of the most effective ways to help provide dollars to help organizations is to provide dollars to help organizations in this part of the world procure essential items, transportation, lodging, and medical care. My family and I, along with the generous donors who have already given, are confident that Utahns will unite and give generously, as they always do, to save lives and support freedom in Ukraine. Together, we will make a difference, and we hope that you will consider our plea. And now I'd like to turn the time over to Chris Connard from the Community Foundation of Utah, and he will share additional thoughts with you. Thank you.
My name is Chris Connard. I'm a board member and chair of the Philanthropy Committee with the Community Foundation of Utah. At the Community Foundation of Utah, we serve as Utah's hub where donors, mission-driven organizations, and the public can come together to build a thriving community and respond during crisis. We are proud to partner with Governor Cox, the Miller family, and everyone here to launch the Utah for Ukraine Fund in service to those in need. These are uncertain times, but what is certain is Utah's unparalleled generosity and tradition of caring for others. Recently, over 900 Afghanis arrived in Utah. People from all over the state responded immediately, raising over $1 million through our Utah Afghan Community Fund to fill critical resource gaps in resettling our newest neighbors. As we saw in the Afghan crisis, in the face of suffering, Utah steps forward. Utah for Ukraine will unite the Utah community to raise funds for charities providing immediate, short-term relief to refugees fleeing Ukraine. Many people have asked, how can we help? This is our answer. Contributions will support Ukrainians who have been displaced and are in critical need of basic support. As the steward for the fund and the Community Foundation of Utah will ensure every dollar is used for Ukrainian refugees forced from their homeland. It is our privilege to be part of this groundswell of support, and we are honored to have the opportunity to work with everyone here during this humanitarian crisis and look forward to continuing Utah's legacy of giving when it matters most.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for your great leadership. Utah's a special place, and that's evidenced by people wanting to pull together in times of distress and great sorrow that we're seeing right now around the world. When we care for our brothers and sisters, we want to do something to lift them, even if it's only a small part that we can do individually. We are energized by the benevolence and the thoughtfulness of our community, and that is what brings light in the darkest of hours. As Gail mentioned, the second element of Driven to Assist is gathering essential items for those in Ukraine. With much appreciation for Max, his contacts in country, and his generous heart, we are able to convene several key players in the community to structure a drive where Utahns along the Wasatch Front can donate items to help Ukrainian refugees. The Larry H. Miller Company, locations at Megaplex Theaters, the Salt Lake Bees, and Daybreak will be accepting donations during business hours that include warm clothing, hygiene products, and other gear that can make a difference. You will find a full list of items that you can donate at lhm.com, and several are on display here today, as you can see to my right. We have set up Megaplex Theaters in Centerville, Sandy, and Lehigh, along with the Bees at Smith's Ballpark and Vivint Arena, and the Hub at Daybreak in South Jordan. I also want to thank the Utah Food Bank for providing the bins and transportation to help collect donations. While this isn't a food drive, we are so appreciative of their willingness to help us gather items. We hope to see you drop by through March 12th. I also want to call out and thank Sister Goods, who will help gather period products for women and girls. We are grateful for the First Lady and her Show Up initiative. Through her team, we will be able to organize volunteers to help sort and package these essential donated items. And we are incredibly proud of our strong partners at Intermountain Healthcare, who have graciously agreed to have an airplane at the ready when we secure the donated items and can assure safe passage and distribution to those in need. In closing, we ask Utahns at this time who are having hard conversations around the dinner table with their children about what's going on in the world. And we have a desire to do something and would invite people to have the conversations about the little things that we can do that bless our lives as we serve and act, and will certainly be a blessing to those in need. May God bless those that are suffering at this time. And with that, I'll turn the time over to Mikkel Moore at Intermountain Healthcare to share more.
Thank you, Steve. The Intermountain community, like so many of you, feel like caregivers. That's actually what we refer to our employees as. And in times like this, we're all searching for what we can do to help heal the hurt that's occurring here and abroad. And we recognize in our role as healthcare caregivers the importance of sleep, nutrition, social support in living the healthiest lives possible. And there's lots of people suffering in that regard right now. Intermountain is proud to support Larry H. Miller and all of the companies that have come together, and philanthropists, governor's office, in providing air transport of the important donated supplies to the area in need when it's safe to do so and when we've been able to coordinate all of the details. We know that serving others has tremendous power to heal, and our caregivers want to be a part of that response to build unity here in our community and around the world. So we're proud to join this effort by reinforcing the support of local agencies that serve refugees all the time here in our communities, and by flying those resources and supplies to reach those in need. We're donating this in-kind support as a part of creating a match for the community-raised funds. Encourage you to give money if you can, and to do your part to be a part of this solution. We recognize that times of conflict and stress can create and raise up trauma that we might have experienced in our own lives. And there are many who are previous refugees living among us. And we encourage you to look out for support to one another during this time of need. If you need medical assistance or behavioral health support, please reach to 211 to help facilitate access to those needs. Take care of one another, and let's unite together as Utahns in support of Ukraine. Thank you.
Dear Utahns, the big trouble came to my motherland, Ukraine. Ukrainian people are facing an army led by a person who does not have ability to forgive, who does not know the word mercy, or does not know the word justice. He brought the war to the country where I was born. Why? Putin wants to capture the whole country and integrate it, trying to restore Soviet empire. But he miscalculated. Heroic defense and incredible unity of Ukrainian people showed that Ukraine wants to be independent and free. You can watch right now that whole planet turn into yellow and blue colors. The yellow color of Ukrainian flag symbolize ears of wheat, and blue color symbolizes blue sky. Ukrainians are kind and peaceful people. It is unbelievable to hear all philharmonic orchestras around the world begin their concerts with Ukrainian national anthem. And we can see mind-blowing support around the whole globe, the support that human civilization has not demonstrated before. My dear Utahns, first time I came to Utah in 1994, and I called it home afterwards. I was fortunate to meet Larry and Gail Miller, who helped me to get education and experience. Through their support, I learned valuable lessons working in their organization and now with their organization. But the most important lesson that I have learned is to build bridges and to help people. My people in Ukraine are suffering right now and desperately need our help. Their houses are being bombed and destroyed. They are not sure if they will be alive tomorrow. There are hundreds of thousands of refugees on the border right now, mostly women and children. They are cold and hungry and worried about their fathers, brothers, husbands that are left behind fighting. We're immensely grateful to the United States and American people for the support they're providing to Ukraine. But my fighting and bleeding country needs more. We're here now today to relay and help Ukrainian people to survive through these difficult times and defeat the enemy of the civilized world. By donating simple things, you can make a huge impact. I'm doing everything I can help. A few days ago, I picked up the phone and I called Gail Miller office and asked for help for Ukraine. I am deeply touched by magnitude of support on all levels. I'm very thankful to the Millers organization, Governor Cox, community leaders, and most important, people of Utah. Any donation will go directly to people of Utah. If you are able, please include a note on a Utah postcard that will show to Ukrainian people that someone across the world is thinking, praying, and caring about them. Thank you. Героям слава.
Thank you, Max, for those inspiring words. And I want to recognize we have President Stuart Adams with us. Speaker Brad Wilson is with us as well. Representative Jordan Tusher, thank you for being here with us. I think I saw Representative Elison walk in the back, and I apologize if I've missed anybody else. But thank you for your generous, your kindness and your support. I'm never surprised, but I'm constantly overwhelmed by the goodness of the people of Utah. We have many people that are new to Utah. Over the past 5 years, we've been the fastest growing state in the nation. And for those of you that are new, this is the best of Utah, and we invite you to join us. The Miller family has always been doing good. And they want to keep doing good until there's too much good in the world, I believe. That's what they say in the Miller family. And certainly there's not too much good in the world right now. There's still evil, but we're going to flood the world with goodness, and we're going to do our part to lift our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. With that, we're happy to answer a few questions, and you can ask a question of anybody up here. Questions, please.
I'm a Ukrainian and I've been living in Utah for the past 5 years. My friends and I have been doing some fundraisers for the people in Ukraine, and so many Utahns have donated. I just want to say thank you so much for all your support, the community support, Miller Foundation, because my friends have been taking the donations directly to the people who are at the checkpoints, and those people are so hopeful, and they're so happy that the world is with them, and they're so happy to hear that all of you are supporting them. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Thank you, and thank you for your incredible work in making those donations happen and getting them to the right place. Thank you. Other questions?
Let me ask, what conversations are being had? Obviously, this is in the early stages, but is there any conversation being had with the federal government about bringing potential refugees here and how that might work?
Sure. We are in the very early stages of those conversations. We've talked with our federal delegation. We'll be talking with the administration as those opportunities come up. What I've told people is just plan on it, because that's what we do in Utah. So when the opportunity arises, as was already mentioned, we have now 900 Afghan residents who are here in our state, which is much larger than our per capita portion that we would normally be assigned. And I suspect that we will do the exact same thing when it comes to our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Governor, realistically, how quickly do you think these items could be on the ground there? The money, is this weeks, months? Any timeline on that?
Yeah, I'd love anybody else, anybody up here who can talk about that. I know we have a plane ready to go when it's filled. And again, the idea is to get this to Poland and other places very quickly. But Mikhail, do you want to talk?
So we expect that the plane will be available to go when the supplies are ready and when we've cleared. It takes about 48 hours advance notice to do all the necessary clearances to get into landing in a country in and around Ukraine, but the money can be there immediately. So we do look forward to planning the trip of getting goods there as soon as the drive is completed. And so I think money can get there even sooner. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'll ask a quick question. Obviously, many of you have been a part, and whoever wants to answer this can, but many of you have been a part of the demonstrations and the rallies on the steps of the Capitol over the last week, the Ukrainian flag flying over the state capitol as well. What is that like personally, to see the amount of support and to really stand together with Ukrainian Utah citizens? Maybe
I could ask two people. Max, would you just address that? And then Clark, would you address what you've seen and felt here?
I'm terribly sorry. I was interrupted. Can you please repeat your question?
Yeah, basically, what are your feelings about so many people showing up on the steps of the Capitol, rallying, the Ukrainian flag flying over the Capitol? What is it like to see that and personally witness Utahns coming out in support of Ukraine?
I will tell you this. I was here and I was taking videos and photos, and I was sending it to my friends and my family in Ukraine. What I would rephrase the question, what does that mean for them? That means a lot. Just because people are thinking about them. Yes, they do have internet, but they have other problems to see without just seeing, but they see the support around the world altogether.
You know, I was the mission president for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Romania and Moldova, 2014 through 2017. We had numerous Ukrainian missionaries. I've been hearing from them constantly this last week, and all of them are safe, I'm happy to report, but they've gone through harrowing circumstances and situations. One of my good friends just had to leave her husband at the border the very day they were trying to cross from the Ukraine into Moldova. The president of the Ukraine announced that all 18-year-olds and older would have to stay in the Ukraine to fight. So this young married couple divided, and this young woman, Nina, went on to Moldova. She's been contacting everyone and gathering supplies and working tirelessly. She says, I don't worry if I'm helping other people. And that's what I've heard time and time again, is those that are in great distress are trying to serve right now and make sure that those refugees are taken care of. But we have great concern for those people that are being bombed indiscriminately. And, to see Utah come together, it was sort of fun. I took a picture the other night and sent it to all my friends that are over there in Eastern Europe. It's not just the Ukrainians are worried. Think about Moldova. They're surrounded by Crimea and by the Ukraine, and already the Belarus president was showing that that was the path for the next step. I've read articles about that. Romania is concerned. They've been evacuating people from the east side of that country. So it's a great concern in the world and in Europe, and particularly in Eastern Europe. But I think the amazing thing is the way our entire planet is coming together in support of people that want freedom, that deserve freedom. So thank you.
Anyone else? All right, we'll go ahead and end then. Again, thank you to everyone. The call is we need volunteers. We need monetary donations, and of course we need these supplies that have been mentioned. So please be generous. Starting tomorrow, March 4th through March 14th, we look forward to matching that $2 million and showing the world how much Utah cares. Thank you so much.